No, no.
It's a little further up this time.
No. Oops.
All right. So, Mexico swept its 2 matches last week, beating Fresno State and San Jose State. Consequently, Devin Sowers is named Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week. And the Lobos are on the road this week, playing at Wyoming and Colorado State.
All right. Start with Devin. Say congratulations to her. She had a great week. She had a career week, actually, which was nice to see. She's been struggling. She started the season with mono and has been struggling with an iron deficiency all year, and really kind of stepped back out and looked energized and played really, really well this weekend, had career highs, and really led the team offensively. So that was exciting to see. I'm really happy for her. Warren's getting healthier for us, and that's added a lot. We've won 4 of the last 5 now that she started playing all the way around again, and there's no question that she provides a steadiness and a ease with the group that isn't there when she's out. Had a come-from-behind win against Fresno on Thursday. Very long match, but I think it was a good one for us to win because we were able to win against a conference team in 5, and it's our second 5th-game match win this year, and we've been struggling with those, and we got on top and stayed on top and actually closed it out with 5 straight points, Cassie House serving. So I think even though it was a longer match than we probably wanted, it was good for our team and definitely added to their confidence. And both wins this week were avenging losses that we had earlier in the year, and I think the team did a really good job. Going forward this week, Wyoming, we had a really close match with them the first time here. Good team, good middles, which has been a struggle for us, so we've really got to prepare for that this week. But I think it'll be a great match. It's a great match every time we play them. We're developing a good little rivalry with them, and so I think we're excited to get up there and do that. And I think the thing that our team is excited that they're playing better, and I think the thing I'm most proud of with this group is, these seniors could have felt sorry for themselves and other things for everything that's happened, but they actually are really invested, really working hard, leading the way, and they still want to win a lot of ball games, and so I'm really proud of them for that. Saturday we're at Colorado State. It's actually a night game, which is unusual for us on Saturday, but they have football in the afternoon, so those are always a big rivalry for us, and always tough up there, but we're looking forward to this weekend, and then we're home next week, and we actually finish with 4 singles, so that'll be nice because from a coaching standpoint, you're only scouting and preparing for one team at a time, and that'll be really nice to be able to do that and just kind of take them as they come, and we feel like we can do a great job closing out. Any questions?
Coach, are you mathematically out of the winning the Mountain West?
Yeah.
So is there any chances for at large?
Well, it's an interesting thing because the conference has a really good RPI right now. Even with our skid and stuff, we're sitting at about 130, 131, something like that. Like this weekend, the teams we play are 51 and maybe 67 or something. So the conference has done a good job. I actually think 2 teams will get in this year. And there's a lot of games left. And I think whoever wins is going to have 3 or 4 losses, but I don't think we can move up that far. I think we can play solid ball out, and we certainly can elevate our position, which we did this week. We moved up 2 spots. But I think that's a little too much to expect because, we had that when Julia was out, we went 1-7. And, I mean, we've never done that, and it killed us. And so right now we're kind of playing for pride and probably to knock some of those teams out, which is we've been on the other side of that. We've been on this side of it, and I think it shows good character to keep competing and keep battling, and that's what they're doing.
Was it just a matter of getting healthy? I mean, you guys lost 7 straight, and now you're going 4 or 5.
Yeah. I think it was a couple things, getting Warren cleared so she's out there with him, and then Devin's much healthier now, and I mean, you just can watch her, and we were talking about that on the way up in the elevator. She's just at a completely different level again, and but I think too, in the course of that time, we had 4 matches that we could have won. I mean, that went right down to the wire, and those really shook our confidence. And if we had turned those, I'd be giving you a much different answer, because even with her out and things going that way, we battled, and we had the opportunities to win those, and we didn't get them, unfortunately. But that's a difference of you're sitting at 18-8 right now instead of, we're 14-12, and you know, that's a huge difference. We had match points in 4 of those 8 matches during that stretch. So
how would you describe this season? Is just weird or
exhausting? No. Yeah, it's like, you know, people say a tale of 2 seasons. It's almost like 3, because we started out rolling and came out of preseason 10-4, I think, and then beat New Mexico State. So in non-conference 10-4, 11-4, something like that, and then Julia gets hurt in that last tournament, and we go 1-7 through there to start conference, and that's a rough start, you know. And now again, as we're going into the second half, we have some momentum. We've won 4 of 5, and avenged a couple losses, beat a good New Mexico State team, and you know, so I feel like things are better. Where we're going to go, I hope there's not a 4th season. If we can finish in this 3rd section, that would be great, and I think we will, just because they're, like I said, playing hard and really showing good character.
What about UNLV? I mean, that's a big shocker. They were picked pretty below you guys.
They were picked 5th, yeah.
Yeah, they're in 1st place. And
They have a senior, Bree Hamill, who's playing out of this world. I think she has a great chance of being Conference Player of the Year. I think part of the reason they were picked down is because she had a knee injury in the last weekend last year, a really bad one, and she's been able to recover, and she was back on the court in 8 months, and she's playing really fantastic. And you don't know how that's going to go, and everyone knew that she was their key player, and but nobody knew how fast she'd be able to come back. And it's kind of a Andre Peterson type thing, you know. If she's in there, they're really good, and she's had a really good year. But and they do a good job. They always do a good job of being a low error team that makes you earn your win, for sure.
You've already kind of touched on this, but what is it about Julia that makes the team so much better? When she's in, when she's gone, we're out. When she's in, we're stronger. So what, you've already kind of touched on it. What is it specifically about her, and what do we have on the horizon so we're not such a one-hit wonder?
Well, you know, every year things change and things go on, and different kids accept different roles. But with Julia, she's just such a complete player. She can do everything. She gets you kills every night. She's in the top 3 or 4 in the conference in double doubles. She passes half the court for us. You know, and Lisa Meter left, and a year later Julia came in, and they're the same kind of player. For those of you that have been around a while, Lisa was a freshman of the year in the conference, as was Julia, all conference. Same kind of thing. They're just kids that take on big roles, do a lot for you, and play at a high level every night. And so even though they're not necessarily a leader from a standpoint of, you know, everything you're doing, they're a leader in that the whole team feels at ease when they're out there and better. And I think that she just provides so much in terms of the mental capacity of the group. And we competed well when she was out. I think we just needed that little bit of edge to get through those tough ones, and we didn't find it. But she's a great player. I mean, there's no question. She's one of the best here, and you lose them, and you always got to replace them. But you know, that happens year in and year out. So
you still never really found I mean, I guess you're splitting this setting with Ruben.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you still haven't.
Well, actually, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty steady the last 2 weeks. They've done a really good job of splitting the duty. I think Carson's a really good setter, but she's struggled a little bit with having the role full time, and Lisa's a really hard worker and just a really solid player in the gym. And so we've been able to strike a balance between them with one playing back row and one playing front row in the same position. And it's worked well, and they both seem to be improving in that role, not having to have it full time. So,
Coach, the last time you won was 1994 up in Fort Collins, 22 years ago.
oh, well, I wasn't here, so I.
But let me ask you this question. We have not done very well against Colorado State. And to pull off the upset, what are we going to have to do to beat them? Because they beat us 3 straight games. Can we? What's your strategy? How can we turn it around and pull off the big upset?
Well, there's a couple things. We've got to handle the ball well, and that's something we can do. And we've got to serve, I'll say, the crap out of the ball. I would say something more expletive normally, but we've got to go back and just go after them from the serving line. And last time we didn't. We let them pass. They have a really good set of middles that can do a lot of damage. And actually, last time we shut them down, but we committed to that, and the outside got away from us. And when they're a good team, that's what happens. But I think they're more vulnerable than they've been, and they've actually lost at home this year. I mean, what you're talking about, we're not the only ones. That's everyone. We've actually beat them the most of any team in the conference, and that's only 2 or 3 times. I mean, their program, they do a great job. Tom's a great coach. But they also, in every aspect, they support their program double what everyone else does. I mean, it's just a whole different ball game, and that program up there is treated like a Big Ten or a Pac-12 school, and they do a really good job with it, and they certainly deserve it because they've done a good job. Anything else? Thanks, guys. Have a good week.